Well, hello. What are we doing here? Well, today I'm going to tell you a true story about something that happened to me back in the early 90s it was. I pulled up here to park. I was off to forage for elderflowers. I pulled up here, I got out my van, and I felt the vehicle that had pulled up behind us, I didn't look at it and the people in it, and I should have. And you'll find out why in a minute. Let's go. So, guess where we're going? That's right, we're going along the canal. Because that is where we thought we would find some non-polluted elderflowers. Well, I'm sure it's not going to be quiet, but it's not going to be ultra busy. Which is ironic because the day I turned up here, or I was with my partner at the time, this was full of people and a film crew. Wow, look at this hazel. That's perfect. So that's where we are. If you want a view, you can't have one from the other side, but there you go, we're above the tracks, not on the wrong side. And there's a view over there down the valley towards Bath, or towards Bath. See the River Avon going underneath the Kennet and Avon Canal, because that's what it was designed for. Okay, I'll take you down there because obviously if we're somewhere like this, we may as well go and see the whole thing. I mean, this has got nothing to do with what I came here to do, except that I crossed it. So there you go. A canal crossing a river. But yeah, like I say, that's not what I came here to do. So yeah, so off we went, away from all the commotion that was going on here, and off down the canal, looking. Just noticed the mason's mark there. Looking for elderflowers. So let's see if we can find some berries. We might find the actual tree. It is quite a nice spot here, with the trees by the side. That's Angelica. Now, this looked like an interesting ridge of trees here. Looks like someone's been tying boats up against it. And the river is right down in there. Yeah, I wonder, because it does flood. I mean, it has done in Bath. I don't know whether that's because the River Avon's running into it and it floods, or whether it's another reason. Another beautiful hazel there. Old. Because they get coppice, you don't see them doing this. And this is... oh, it's a field maple. I came in here for another reason, just to have a look. And here we've got some orange Himalayan, some pink Himalayan balsam, which here is an invasive species. However beautiful those flowers look, that's going to take over, or can take over. And if people don't know, this is the seed heads of that thing. It's white flowers, meadowsweet. Gardener's name blank. And here's some orange balsam, Himalayan balsam there. Not a fan of seeing that. I don't know how it got here. It didn't get here through good ways. It's not native at all. Anything that becomes really invasive is often not native. People might say, well, what about stinging nettles? But they're not that invasive. Wow, that's a nice ridge. Now this bit of woods is connected to woods that I've been in and you've seen videos of, if you've seen a few of my videos. It's, sorry, just trying to shield from the wind. Eroded roots. So yeah, so here we were, walking along here, and every so often I could hear an engine, and I'd hear the engine and I'd look and I couldn't see anything, because I like to keep, if you hear an engine you keep an eye out. If you're on a country road and you hear a car, you keep an eye out to see if it's coming, or you're going to get in the way, or it's a danger, a searching for danger mechanism. It's like a bit of a playground. Look, swing, nature's park. So this kept happening. And all along here I kept hearing an engine, and sure enough, I'd look behind and there'd be nothing, not even my own shadow. Wow, now that is a vine. I call it Vitis gerolitis. It's old man's beard, but it is a Vitis. But if you don't get the Vitis gerolitis reference, look into like 70s, 80s tennis. He was a tennis player. That's how I remember names of plants, and people's names. I associate them with things. I associate them with whatever that helps me remember, and sometimes all I can remember is the thing that I associate it with. as has just been seen. Through there's the houses of Limpley Stoke. Now if you're looking for bearings for another video, you see where the house is there, that building. Well, I'm going to tell you a big, horrific story about there, but that's maybe later. Now here's a plant I don't know. I'm not that good on waterside plants. So if anyone does know, please tell me. So I'd like to know what that is. So even to here, we walked quite a way, as you can maybe tell. And still, I was hearing boat engines and turning round, and there's nothing there. So I kind of just dismissed it, even though a part of me was still weirded out by the car that pulled in front of us, or behind us, and getting down there and being all those people, partly because we'd come here to get away from anybody. And this one is burdock. For your people that know what these things are, don't worry, I'm just saying it for people who don't know what they are. Because I have seen videos of people, American travellers who came to Britain and got stung by stinging nettles and had no idea what they were until they ran through a patch of them and then got stung and wondered what was going on. Lots of ducks around here, but it's so beautiful to have the wood at the side. I'm sure you can guess that part of me is thinking, yeah, I'm gonna have to go and explore the wood, aren't I? I have been in there, I'm pretty sure, many years ago, but it's remembering how I got into certain bits of it. Now here's some rather large burdock, as it's getting bigger. Is it burdock or is this something else? So yeah, so we dropped down and started filling our bag full of elderflowers. And then the next thing I know is my partner said, "Mark, they're filming you." And I turned round, and up on the canal here there was a little motorboat, a little one, tiny, with 3 people in it, and one of them there was a bloke driving, a thick-set man driving, and there were 2 other people, one a woman whose name I know, and another man, her henchman, who had the camera, and it was pointed at me. Now one thing I hate, and it's quite ironic considering what I do now, is, but I don't go pointing at people. I try and avoid pointing at people. That got me annoyed, and I was really pissed off. really angry. And so I came to here. I said, "Oi, you need to effing ask if you're going to film me, because you'll fucking pay me, haven't you?" So I picked up a stone and I hurled it at the boat, and it landed on the glass right by the head of the bloke who was doing the steering and the driving. Freaked him right out, and they shot off. They shot off up the canal and disappeared out of sight. Now you would think that was the end of it, wouldn't you? So what they didn't realise was, or maybe they did, they should have done, because of the incident, that either I've put that clip in or I'm going to put the clip in afterwards to explain something else. But they maybe should have known how good I was at throwing. My accuracy is pretty good. My son and I, we used to play this game where he used to throw a stone up and I would try and hit it in the air. And probably a 55–60% success rate. That was how good I could throw. Now, so we carried on up there, and I think we made it to the bridge. Where's that confounded bridge? Well, I think we made it to the bridge. Sorry, I have to pop a musical reference in. Please comment if you know the musical reference, because I want to know that people get it. I mean, it is for my own amusement, but I am doing it for other people's amusement, and the way me and some of my male friends communicate is through song lyrics or related things. So yeah, so there's the bridge there. There's the bridge there, Robert. Now that really did shake me up, I have to admit. I was really shook up about that. It was like someone had got my stomach, you know, put the hand in and ripped it out. It was weird. Anyway, after they'd gone past and I'd thrown the stone, a canal boat went past with, it's not just Gardner's name blank. Who was the woman who played Polly in Fawlty Towers? And her husband Timothy West. Prunella Scales and Timothy West went past on their boat. If you don't know, they're a couple of English actresses and actors. Sorry, they're a couple of English actors. And obviously, and I kind of thought maybe that's what all the filming was about. Anyway, fast forward maybe 6 months. And I was just about to go to bed, and I noticed that there was a programme on, half-an-hour programme, local programme on a local television, about travelling the Kennet and Avon Canal. So for a few weeks I watched this series, and then on one particular one, right at the end, there was a shot of me, right at the end, a brief second or so. You know, one of those cut-out shots that get used. And I went, ah, that's interesting. So I went through and I checked out the cameraman, but because I'm guessing, well, I just thought I might see something, and I remember the name. One of the names was Ken Morse, but he's the rostrum camera, and you'll see his name, but I know it wasn't him. I know who they were. Now let me put some background to this. In 1986, 85, 86, no, must have been summer 87. I used to go and practice juggling in a park because we were with a bunch of us, because we were trying to get a travelling theatre together. And we used to be out there quite regularly, you know, quite a few hours a day. We'd go out and practice. Sadly, some of them aren't with us anymore. And this one particular day, we were there practicing, Then all of a sudden, these 3 people appeared, one from that way, one from that way, one from that way, homed in on us and went up to this girl who was with us. And they said to her, "Ah, you're Caroline from 20 blah blah blah." She's like, "No, I'm a different name, I can't remember her name. And yeah, I'm number 20, but I'm not in that building, I'm in another building." Anyway, they wouldn't believe her and off they went. But before that, they'd introduced themselves to us, and the woman who was obviously in charge introduced herself as this name. I'm not going to give it out. And so I kind of knew. I mean, obviously they were on up. I don't know what they were looking for, because I know all these people. And you know, if you're doing something illegal or something dodgy, you have reason for police to follow you. It makes sense, doesn't it? But when you're not, and they do, that's really weird. And that is one of the reasons why I've started this channel. maybe this will help me get to the bottom of this. Anyway, now if we fast forward another 4 years to when this incident occurred with the elderflowers, I was at a friend's house, brother of the Amoebics brothers, actually, no names. And my friend said to me, "Look at this, look," he got his binoculars out and he said, "Look, see that building opposite, the one with the bay window on the 2nd floor? Have a look in there." So I did, and in there was this thick-set bald man looking into a house down there. Now, whether they were looking at the house I was in and then being a decoy or not, but then they could have put them down, couldn't they? Anyway, the driver of the boat was the thick-set bald man. And that's what the flowers of Vetus look like. They're sort of white, there's some on there, and they turn into furry seed heads. One thing I didn't mention was that at the other end of it is the Somerset Coal Canal. One thing that I haven't mentioned, and I will as soon as I'm at a different point, is I used to spend a lot of time on canal boats because lots of my friends had canal boats, and so I was kind of quite used to being on the water and hanging out, but I don't think I could live in one myself. Many people have often said to me, What about a canal boat for you? It's like, I don't know, it's too confined, isn't it, really? Yeah, one of my friends was, what, 6 foot something. You know, you haven't got loads of height in there. And I've lived in buildings with low roofs, so it really does play a bit of havoc on you, you know, doing that all the time, which I do at work, incidentally. There's a nice shot. So yeah, I'm kind of used to the canal. We had all kinds of different living equipment. Boats, buses, trucks, wagons, yurts, benders, tents. And in case it was too windy for you to hear what I was saying, through there is the Somerset Coal Canal. Thanks for watching. See you later. Ta-ra.